I've got to know you a little bit over the last few years. I know we're not getting married or anything, but watching you work is so interesting because you're incredibly professional, although your act is the complete reverse of that. I mean, you make it look like everything's going wrong and you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. But, I mean, you take it incredibly seriously, don't you?
Absolutely. I'm here 4 hours for the show to make it look like I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the art of it, I suppose. I don't know. I never knew Tommy Cooper. I love Tommy Cooper. I never knew him, unfortunately. Bob Monkhouse, I knew exceptionally well. I was a bit of his protege of Bob's, and he was a great worker behind the scenes as well. The best story I ever heard about Bob Monkhouse was one of those million stories I know about Bob, but the one in particular that shows his genius, and it was so simple, was when he did an audience with. And he went out, he did the first 15 minutes, and then he got the floor manager, came over to him and said, "Sorry, Bob, we've got a problem in the gallery. We've got to start at the very beginning." And he said, "This is to an audience of celebrities." And he said to him, "Right, everybody go off, sorry about this, go and have a 15-minute drink while we start again." He said, "I wouldn't expect an audience of professional people to sit through and listen to the same jokes again and ask you to laugh politely at the same jokes you've just heard. So if you give me 15 minutes, I'll see what I can do. You go and have a drink." Everybody went and had a drink. He went to his dressing room, sat there with a whiskey, and Colin Edmonds, his writer, didn't do anything at all. Came out, and it was all pre-planned. He did all the old gear for the first 15 minutes, pretending that was a show that was going to make, and he already had the new gear prepared. So he came back out, did all the new gear, and they went, "Oh my God, this man's a genius. He's written that in 15 minutes. He sat there and had a couple of whiskeys and a cigar." Shows the work of a pro. You know, everybody thinks it's all off the top of his head. Nothing that good is off the top of your head.
Well, again, at the end of that video, he does the thing where he goes around the audience and makes it look so simple. And in fact, when he went live, he'd go into the audience. And again, it's just that preparation, meeting opportunity, and having a line for everything. And you've kind of got that. And certainly Doddy's got it as well. When I give you something to talk about, somewhere in that filter system, you'll come up with a gag. It's an incredible tool, your memory, isn't it?
You mean I'm an incredible tool? That's what you mean.
Work of genius. Of course, Panto's the next thing you're doing. You're going back to Birmingham, which is nice because it's the biggest one in the country.
It's the best one in the country. And actually, I was talking to Michael Harrison, who's directing this year, on the way up to the gig today. And the idea is we've got this year, doing it in 3D this year. I've never seen a 3D, but I thought 3D was Panto, you know, it's real life. But apparently everybody gets the glasses, so I don't know what we're going to poke in their eye. But obviously we'll get something to poke in their eye. So, I've never seen have you ever seen a Panto 3D stuff? No. Well, it'd be interesting. So, and Ray Quinn, little Ray Quinn's there, and I say little Ray Quinn because I met him a few weeks ago. We did the Panto press call, and he is little. He looks like he's fallen off my key ring, but he's a really nice lad. Only 21, done so much already. I felt so old against him though. I did him a few weeks ago because he was in Greece, and he spent the entire interview just staring at my hair as if I was some alien. I don't think he'd ever seen a ginger person before. Was it your hair on your nose though? Because you know when we first met that you had a hairy nose. I don't mean at the nostrils, I mean on the top of the nose. Why do you go on? This is like 10 years ago, Joe. I know, but yeah, that's the thing I remember about you most of all. You could actually pull it down and use it as dental floss. That's how long it was. And the show, you say it keeps moving on. I mean, how do you find those big tricks? Because one of the things you did at the end of one of your videos was Make It Snow, which is so magnificent, and it's just a work of genius that's beautifully crafted. How easy is it to find something that good? I have to say, it's not easy to find something that good, and for that reason alone, I put it back in this year, because so many people were saying, "You're going to make it snow." And it was one of those things where you go, if I don't do it again, people have seen it before if you do it again. Or in the back of my head, if I do it, people go, "I've seen that already." And then I found that if I wasn't doing it, people say, "Oh, I only bought my nan, or I bought so-and-so because you made it snow last time." I go, "Well, I've done it last time." "Well, can't you make it snow?" That's the only reason we can't snow. So I found by putting it back in this year that people love it again. Like that, I can't believe it. So, and it's a piece that I like to do anyway, and it is a great visual to do. And we're putting it into the Panto this year as well. But they're covering the whole audience in snow this year, not just the stage. So that would be fantastic. And that's what you're clever at as well, is changing the mood of the show, because it's very silly, let's face it. You're not trying to do Brecht or Harold Pinter. But then there are moments like that when you go incredibly serious, and that thing you do with the painting that I think you did at the Royal Variety one year. I mean, you do like to change the mood to prove that you're not just some daft idiot. Well, yeah, I just think that to sustain an hour and a half, though, you can't keep people up there that long for an hour and a half, because you wear them out. So to give them highs and lows throughout the act, I think it's just the nature of any film, any sort of entertainment. It has to have highs and lows just to balance it out. Otherwise, if you've got all an hour and a half of people just sitting there going, "Oh, that's clever," and no one laughing. By the same token, you can't get people laughing for an hour and a half solidly like that because they won't be able to do it. Or you can't do it. You can't sustain that tempo, that pace of the act. Are you watching tonight?
Yeah, I'm in.
Because you'll see tonight, the first half hour is relentless, machine gun style stuff, and take no prisoners. And then it slows down. Then you pick them up again and drop them again, pick them up and drop them, and that's the nature of the act, really. And that's what I like to do. As you just said, I like to play with it that way.
Very finally, before we go, as you know, I now call you Hercules Pasquale because you're suddenly this Adonis. How's your physicality at the moment?
Squeeze my arm. Right?
Very nice.
Yeah,
Would you like to touch my decut bamboo?
Squeeze my leg. Squeeze my leg.
I don't know. Is that
Squeeze
inappropriate?
my leg. Do it. Right? I'll do it now. It's inappropriate. Any further than that's inappropriate. But yeah, it's fine now.
You're not doing bad, are you? I mean, because you're knocking on a bit now. Let's face it.
Yeah, love.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm about 18 months off of 50.
What are you going to do for your 50th?
I'll probably just go to Nando's.
The 2-for-1 offer or something?
Yeah. No, I just like a bit of chicken, love. I like a bit of chicken.
Listen, congratulations on being you. The Panther's going to be in Birmingham at the Hippodrome this year, and you're touring again next year. And it's so nice to still see you doing the business, because a lot of these theatres are empty. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's nice that people are still turning out.
I totally agree. And also, as you said, there's a lot of comics, there's a lot of great comics out there, but there aren't many people catering for 5-year-old to 95-year-old across the board age-wise. So it's nice that people actually make the effort and get off their backsides and come and see a bit of live entertainment.
And will Reynard be taking off his clothes this evening? Is that necessary?
It's absolutely necessary. That's one of the things that's a must in the show. Oh, yeah. Because it just makes... That's for me. I have to say it's not for anybody. Because he's getting older and he's getting uglier. The body isn't... it's not good now. It's not. It looks like Pillsbury Doughboy. If anybody's old enough to remember Pillsbury Doughboy.
Joe, thank you very much for talking to me. Good luck with the pantomime, and I'll see you tonight.
See you tonight. Thanks, Alex.
Brilliant.